Imagine this. Two friends graduate from college on the same day. They get hired by the same company. They earn the exact same salary, around $75,000 a year. They rent similar apartments, drive similar cars, even eat lunch together. For the first few years, their lives look almost identical. But 15 years later, everything changes. One has over $1 million invested. He works because he wants to, not because he has to. The other checks his bank account before buying groceries. He still counts the days until payday. Same education, same income, same opportunities, completely different future. So what happened? Did one of them invent a billion-dollar company? No. Did one win the lottery? No. The answer is much smaller than that. In fact, it's almost invisible. Because wealth is rarely destroyed by one big mistake. It's destroyed by tiny habits repeated every single day. Habits so normal that millions of people never question them. They don't look dangerous, they feel comfortable, even responsible. But year after year, those habits quietly steal your future. And today, we're exposing every single one of them. Because the most expensive habits are usually the ones you don't even notice. Habit number 1. Living like payday is winning the lottery. For many people, payday feels like a celebration. The paycheck arrives, suddenly it's time to reward yourself. A new pair of shoes, a nicer dinner, another online order, maybe a new gadget. After all, you worked hard. You deserve it. There's nothing wrong with enjoying your money. The problem begins when every paycheck already has a destination before it even arrives. The money comes in and immediately flows back out, without creating anything, without growing anything. Imagine a bucket full of tiny holes. You keep pouring more water into it, but the bucket never fills. Not because you don't earn enough money, but because everything leaks away. That's exactly how many people treat their income. They focus on making more money instead of fixing the leaks. And here's the dangerous part. The more your salary grows, the bigger the leaks become. That's why someone earning $150,000 can still feel broke, while another person earning much less quietly builds wealth every single month. The difference isn't income. It's what happens during the first few days after payday. Habit number 2. Spending first, saving later. Ask someone why they aren't investing. Most people give the same answer. I'll start when I have extra money. Sounds reasonable, except extra money almost never appears. Life keeps finding new expenses. A birthday, a vacation, a broken phone, a car repair, a higher rent, a bigger electricity bill. There's always something. So people spend first and save whatever is left. Usually nothing. The wealthy often reverse the order. They save and invest first, then they spend what's left. It sounds like a tiny difference, but over 20 years, that tiny habit can create a completely different life. One person slowly builds assets, the other slowly builds excuses. Both believe they're making smart decisions. Only one of them is quietly buying freedom. And this is where the next hidden habit becomes even more dangerous, because it doesn't just steal your money, it changes the way you think forever. Habit number 3. Buying status instead of building wealth. Imagine two neighbors. Both receive a $10,000 bonus. The first walks into a luxury dealership. A few hours later, he drives home in a brand new car. His neighbors are impressed. His friends congratulate him. For a moment, he feels successful. The second neighbor does something far less exciting. He invests most of the money. No one notices, no one congratulates him. His life looks exactly the same. But 5 years later, One of them owns a car worth far less than he paid for it. The other owns assets that have quietly grown while he was sleeping. That's the difference between looking wealthy and becoming wealthy. Many people spend money to impress people who aren't paying their bills. They upgrade the phone before upgrading their savings. They wear expensive brands while carrying expensive debt. The wealthy think differently. Before they buy something, they ask one simple question: will this make me look rich, or will it actually make me richer? That single question can completely change the direction of your financial life. Habit number 4, the "I'll start tomorrow" trap. This habit doesn't look dangerous. In fact, it sounds responsible. I'll invest when I earn more. I'll learn about money after I'm less busy. I'll start next year, tomorrow, next month, after the promotion, after the raise, after the kids grow up. There is always another reason to wait. But the truth is, the biggest enemy of wealth isn't failure, it's delay. Imagine planting 2 identical trees, one today, one 5 years from now. Which one will be taller? Money works the same way. Every year you wait is one less year your money has to grow. Time is the one thing you can never earn back, and most people trade it away without even realizing it. One day they wake up at 50 years old, wondering where all the years went. Not because they made one terrible decision, but because they made the same small decision to wait again and again and again. The people who build wealth aren't always the smartest. They simply understand something most people ignore. Small actions started early beat perfect plans started too late. And the next hidden habit might be the quietest one of all, because almost everyone does it every single day without noticing the price they're paying. Habit number 5, the invisible money leaks. Imagine a faucet, not fully open, just drip, drip, drip. One tiny drop doesn't seem important. You wouldn't even notice it. But leave it running for years, and it wastes thousands of gallons of water. Money works exactly the same way. It's rarely one huge purchase that keeps people poor. It's the tiny expenses repeated over and over again. A subscription you forgot to cancel, daily food deliveries, impulse purchases made in 5 seconds, buying things simply because they're on sale. None of them feel expensive, but together they quietly drain your future. Now imagine 2 people. Both earn the same paycheck. The first spends an extra $20 every day without thinking. The second invests that same $20 consistently. One barely notices where the money went. The other watches it slowly turn into real wealth. That's the power of small decisions. The problem isn't coffee, or streaming services, or eating out once in a while. The problem is spending without intention. Every dollar has a job. If you don't give it one, it will quietly disappear. And the scary part? Most people never notice the leak until years have already passed. Habit number 6, trading time for money forever. Think about your job. Every morning, you trade your time for a paycheck. There's nothing wrong with that. Almost everyone starts this way. But many people never move beyond it. If they stop working, the money stops too. Imagine a machine. Every day, you have to turn the handle yourself. The moment you stop turning it, everything stops. Now, imagine a different machine. You build it once. It keeps producing even while you sleep. That's the difference between earned income and income generated by assets. The wealthy don't just work for money. They slowly build systems that allow money to work for them. A business, investments, rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, digital products. These assets don't appear overnight. They take patience, discipline, and consistency. But every asset you build today buys a little more freedom tomorrow. Most people spend years working harder. The wealthy spend years building something that eventually works harder than they do. And here's the irony. The goal isn't to stop working. The goal is to make work a choice instead of a necessity. Because the final two habits may be the most dangerous of them all. They don't just affect your bank account, they shape the person you become. Habit number 7. Ignoring financial education. Imagine someone buying the latest phone every 2 years, a newer car every 5 years, a bigger television every holiday season. Now imagine asking that same person, when was the last time you invested in learning a skill that could increase your income? For many people, the answer is silence. School teaches us how to earn a paycheck, but very few people are taught how money actually works, how investing works, how taxes affect wealth, how businesses create value, how assets produce income. The wealthy understand something powerful. The greatest investment isn't always in the stock market. Sometimes it's in yourself. A new skill, a valuable certification, learning how to negotiate, understanding how businesses grow, reading books that completely change the way you think. Knowledge doesn't always pay you today, but it can pay you for the rest of your life. Because every new skill increases your value, and the more valuable you become, the more opportunities begin to appear. The people who stop learning often stop growing, financially, professionally, and personally. Habit number 8. Choosing comfort over growth. This may be the most dangerous habit of all, because comfort feels safe. You know your routine, you know your paycheck, you know what tomorrow looks like. And there's nothing wrong with stability, but growth usually begins where comfort ends. Learning something new feels uncomfortable. Starting a side business feels risky. Making your first investment feels scary. Applying for a better opportunity feels uncertain. Most people wait until they feel confident, but confidence rarely comes first. Action comes first, then confidence follows. The people who build wealth aren't fearless. They simply refuse to let fear make every decision. Every year you stay inside your comfort zone, someone else is building skills, creating assets, and buying back their future. The question isn't whether change feels uncomfortable. It always does. The real question is, will staying exactly where you are cost even more? Conclusion. Here's the truth. Being poor is not a habit, and being wealthy isn't luck. But your daily habits shape your financial future more than almost anything else. Small choices, repeated every day, become your life. Every dollar you save, every skill you learn, every investment you make, every unnecessary purchase you avoid, they're all votes for the future version of yourself. One day, you'll wake up living the life your habits built. The question is, what kind of life are you building today? Because the hidden habits keeping you poor don't disappear on their own. You have to replace them. One decision, one habit, one day at a time. And remember, financial freedom doesn't begin the day you become rich. It begins the day you start making decisions like someone who already understands the value of the future. If this video changed the way you think about money, hit the like button. Subscribe for more videos on wealth, investing, and financial psychology. Because the best investment you'll ever make is in the person you're becoming. And that investment starts today.